Hi guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video and welcome back to my channel. On this video we're going to be talking about all things visa applications, specifically the South African study visa. So if that is something that you're interested in, make sure to watch the video right to the end. For those who are returning viewers and for those who are new viewers and you've not subscribed, please make sure to subscribe to this channel down below. Also make sure to hit the post notification button right next to it to get notified every time I post a new video. Now let's get straight into today's video. When you're applying for a South African study visa, you can fall into any of these two categories. First of all, you either fall into the category of people who finished or completed their high school in their home country, did a higher certificate, a diploma or a degree in their home country but want to do another degree in South Africa. Then you apply from your home country. Then there's a situation where you've studied in South Africa before and you're currently under a study visa. Then you can extend your visa from within South Africa. You do not need to go back to your home country. Where do you apply for your South African study visa? So before you go and submit your forms, your application, you have to book an appointment through the VFS website. When you book the appointment, there's a certain fee that you have to pay to the sum of 1,350 rands, which is equivalent to $90 depending on the rate, and that money is non-refundable. So you book an appointment, and on the day of the appointment is when you go to submit your documents for the visa. So right now I'm going to give you guys a list of the supporting documents that you need. Forgive me, I'll be looking down a lot as I have the list in my hands right now. I will leave a link down below in the description box where you can find this list of requirements. You can download it for yourselves. Also make sure that you tick things off as you get your documents ready. So the first thing that you need is a valid passport which expires no less than 30 days after the expiry of the intended date of departure from the Republic. That's pretty clear. The second thing that you need is a duly completed application form signed by the applicant to be completed in black ink only. So I know that if you're applying in South Africa, the application form is online. Applying from your home country, or I'll just speak for Zimbabwe, if you're applying from Zimbabwe, the application form has to be filled in by hand. So I will leave a link down below as well for that application form. Thirdly, you need 2 recent passport size photographs. You can get that from any photography place. The same thing again, I know that in South Africa they do take your biometrics at the offices, but in Zimbabwe you have to bring your own photographs. So make sure that whoever's taking those photographs, you make it quite clear to them that these photographs are required for South African study visa, so that they give you the right size or they give you the correct size. Fourthly, you need a yellow fever vaccination certificate where applicable. So if you're coming from a country that requires yellow fever vaccination certificates, that's a requirement. I know that for Zimbabwe it's not required. The fifth one, you need medical report. So you can get your medical report from your local MD. So you need the medical report, and you also need a radiological report. Number 7, you need a full birth certificate. So you need a copy of that. There are some documents that require originals and some that require photocopies, but just make sure that when you're photocopying, when you have the photocopies of any document, that they are certified the local police station or any person who has authorization to certify documents. Number 8, you need a marriage certificate, or in the case of a foreign special relationship, proof of official recognition thereof issued by the authorities of the foreign country of the applicant. So this applies to people who are married and would like to have their spouses accompanying them with their visas. So you need to have proof of your original recognition of your marriage. Number 9, you need an affidavit where a special relationship of a South African citizen or resident is applicable, as well as documentation proving cohabitation and the extent to which the related financial responsibilities are shared by the parties, and setting out the particulars of children in the special relationship. I think it's just the same thing. When it comes to dependents, you need to make sure that you have documents to prove that you can provide for these people in the duration of your stay in this country, and that you are indeed related to this individual that you want to bring as a dependent. When it comes to a spouse, you need a marriage certificate as well. The next requirement is written consent from both parents and full parental responsibilities and rights of parents where applicable. So this applies to minors, specifically if you are under the age of 18, probably if you finish school early and you now want to go into university, you will need written consent from your parents or guardians before you apply for the visa. All right. Then the next requirement is the police clearance certificates in respect of applicants 18 years and older, in respect of all countries where person resided for 1 year or longer since having attained the age of 18. So this one is very important. If you lived in South Africa, if you lived in another country for up to a year or longer after you turn 18, you will need to obtain police clearances. For me personally, that was something that deterred my visa. So apply as early as you can for that police clearance because it will take time. I know that in the South African case, the South African police clearance takes as long as 2 months, so that's about 6 to 8 or almost 10 weeks depending on the situation. Another supporting document that you need is an official letter with the institution's official stamp confirming provisional acceptance or acceptance of that learning institution and the duration of the course. So as soon as you guys get confirmation from your universities of provisional acceptance or full acceptance, go and apply for your visas, because the visas take quite a long time. The duration and the waiting period, they say, is about 6 to 8 weeks, but it can take longer than that. So apply for your visa as soon as you can to avoid unnecessary situations where your visa does not come out in time and now it's registration and you can't register. I've heard a number of stories about people who got their visas late and they could not register for the intended year, so they had to defer their year to the following year if the university permitted. So you don't want to find yourself in a situation where you're deferring the start of your degree to another year because you applied for your visa late. Okay, the next thing is that in case of a foreign state accepting responsibility of the applicant in terms of bilateral agreement and written undertaking from such foreign state to pay for the departure of the applicant who are under bursaries or under scholarships or have somebody who's going to be paying their school fees for them, you will need a letter of undertaking which shows that this institution or this company is going to be responsible for paying your tuition fees for the duration of your degree. So they will need to write an official letter stating that and stipulating that clearly. The next thing that you need is proof of medical cover, renewed annually for the period of study with a medical scheme registered in terms of the Medical Schemes Act. I will leave a link down below as well for all the medical schemes that are approved by the embassy. However, there are two main medical covers that I know are always accepted. That's Momentum and Discovery. So when you have those two, then you're sorted. Then the next thing is proof of sufficient funds to cover tuition fees, assistance or incidental costs, bank statements, date stamped by a bank for a period of 3 months, or bursaries. Minimum balance is 10,000 or equivalent. So you will need to show your bank statements which have a minimum balance of 10,000 rand or equivalent to whatever currency your country uses. So this is very, very important to show that you'll be able to cover your school fees, you'll be able to cover accommodation or any other thing that requires money. Then the last thing is written, the next thing is written undertaking from sponsor with company stamp. Like I said before, if you are being sponsored by a company and they're paying for your tuition fees, you will need a written undertaking clearly stipulating that this company is going to be responsible for my tuition fees. The next thing is you need proof of accommodation. So that is proof of residence at relevant institution or signed this agreement on undertaking from host, copies of South African identification document, copy of residence permit in South Africa, and copy of passport and utility bill. So this one is very, very important that you make sure that whatever lease agreement that you have covers the duration of a year. I had a situation where my cousin had a lease agreement under her parents which only covered 6 months, and she had a problem with that lease agreement. They need a lease agreement that covered at least a year. So make sure that your lease agreement covers at least a year. Then the next thing is you need proof of educational qualifications, academic results from the previous years, and this has to be certified copies. And the last thing is you will need to come with an administration fee, which is non-refundable to the total value of $37 US. Please make sure that you do not bring $100 bill, do not bring a $50 bill, especially if you're applying in Zimbabwe, because most of the time they do not have change. Hope that information was helpful. If you have any questions, please make sure to leave them in the comment section and I'll try and help you to the best of my abilities. Also make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, share it with somebody who needs it, and subscribe. Thank you.